August the 15th scents. The scents typical of August are those airless scents of late summer, for example, musk, hay, and hops. The typically sweet scents of the spring and early summer are now coming to an end as flowers disappear and season fruits take their place. It is one of the best times to visit herb gardens, especially in periods of hot, dry weather, when the mints, lavenders, and various balms are at their most pungent. Even bay readily releases its strange mixture of camphor, cloves, and rose. Border and perpetual carnations, as well as bizarre dwarf and laced pinks, and all their hybrids are very much in evidence this month. Most of them are clove-scented, and in some, for example the Malmaison carnations, the scent is almost overpowering. In the Middle Ages, this clove scent was much more prized than it is today. Wine was scented using these flowers since Roman times. In Britain, this practice was still common in Chaucer's day, hence their alternative name of sops in the wine, although they called pinks gilliflowers. It seems likely they were commonly grown in tavern gardens and also used to flavour beer. It is believed that a clove-scented beer was served at the Tabard Inn to pilgrims before they set off to Canterbury. The musk-scented wildflowers noted last month continue into August, but with the addition of a number of new, similarly scented garden plants. Oddly, many of these come from an area of the Himalayas, that is western China, Tibet and Assam, which also happens to be the range of the musk deer, which may well eat the plants concerned. Musk is a formidable animal scent that has been called the strongest and most durable of all odours. The Empress Josephine was so fond of it, she always had a bowl containing musk placed in her dressing room. It is said the room still smelt strongly of musk 50 years after her death. Sea asters have a heavy musk and honey scent, which is strong enough to draw in pollinators some distance across a marsh. Mints are another treasure house of different scents this month. Whenever both wild and cultivated mints are encountered, it is well worth bruising a leaf this month, as their scents are so pleasant and so varied. Although corn mint, Mentha arvensis, has been in flower for some time, most other mint flowers are just starting to be noticed. As a group, they are all rich in volatile oils with elements of peppermint, spearmint, thyme, camphor, menthol, as well as fruit such as apple, orange, lemon, and pineapple. Others have more spicy scents such as ginger, or the complex set of fragrances that makes up the perfume of the eau-de-cologne mint. On top of this great variety, the odour of mint itself has the strange effect of eliciting both a warm and a cold sensation at the same time. It is also both refreshing and slightly numbing. There are a small number of wild mints in London, but a much larger collection of garden forms and hybrids. Even Culpeper noted that there were as many mints as there were, to quote him, sparks in Vulcan's furnace. The two most likely to be found wild are the corn mint and the water mint, Mentha aquatica. The former tends to frequent the sides of fields, and the latter is found in water. Two others that are occasionally found outside gardens are peppermint, Mentha times piperita, and horse mint, Mentha times longifolia. Both round-leaved mint, Mentha suaveolens, and spearmint, Mentha spicata, are rarely found in the wild, even though the latter is the one usually used to make mint sauce. They all have pleasant smells except for corn mint, which is more of a mixture of ginger and gorgonzola. The smell of peppermint is universally known for its mouth-refreshing qualities, with its hint of menthol. In the 18th century, it was sufficiently popular to be grown as a crop at Mitcham. Horse mint, which can also be called white, woolly, or woodland mint, also smells of peppermint. It was used to scent baths, one of which Seneca, the Roman polymath, is said to have died in. In gardens, it is worth seeking out apple mint, Mentha times gracilis, pineapple, Mentha suaveolens, variegata, and eau-de-cologne mint, as well as Japanese mint, Mentha arvensis variety piperacens. The latter variety was so popular in Georgian London, it was dried, powdered, and inhaled like snuff. Pennyroyal, Mentha pelagium, is a wild mint that has unfortunately been picked out of existence by Londoners, possibly as it was used to rid houses of fleas. It gained the word royal as it was used for this purpose in Tudor palaces. Gerard told us it was sold at Mile End to departing sailors. not just to rid them of fleas, but also sweeten their drinking water for their forthcoming voyage. It seems likely the plant was at that time common at Mile End, which was then a wet heath. Places to find a range of mints include Chelsea Physic Garden, Hampton Court Palace Gardens, Kew Gardens, and Capel Manor, as well as many garden centres. Hops, humulus, lupulus are also seen a good deal this month, not only climbing in hedgerows and decorating garden arbours, but also hanging overhead in many London pubs. It is found wild all over the city, but all these plants are likely to be relics of earlier cultivation. The young shoots are now fashionable to eat as a poor man's asparagus. Although hops are famous for flavouring beers, they were also used to make pillows. These were first warmed a little before being given to anxious patients, such as George III. The scent emitted from the hot dried leaves was believed to encourage sleep and reduce any cares or worries. Another common plant noticed a lot, mainly because of its height, is cognizant cream, Epilobium hirsutum. Its English name refers to its unusual scent of warm apples, which is released not from its flowers, but from its bruised leaves. The odour led to other names such as apple pie and even sod apple. Sod in this case means inedible, as when the leaves were eaten, they occasionally led to convulsions. Two other rarer wild plants that were far more prized in the past are ploughman's spikenard, Inula conizii, and elecampane, Inula helenium. In the case of ploughman's spikenard, it is the dried root that produces the celebrated spicy scent, and not the flowers. The original spikenard was believed to have been used by Mary Magdalene to anoint the feet of Jesus, and it was used by Romans to pamper their feet. It was so prized that Horace even offered Virgil 4 cases of wine for a small box of spikenard ointment. The ploughman's epithet comes from the fact it was burned to scent rooms by less affluent people, such as ploughmen. The sprinkling water, which dandies and courtiers in later centuries were fond of sprinkling over themselves, also contained it. Today, the plant has an unusual distribution, being mainly confined to partially shaded chalk banks in southeast London. Its close relation, elecampane, is similar in also having a scented root. In this case, it smells of bananas when first dug up, and then turns to violets as it dries. It is yet another ingredient of absinthe, but was also candied and baked into cakes. These cakes were still being sold in apothecaries as an aid to digestion in Georgia and London. In the past, it may well have been far more common, especially along the river, but it now only is seen in gardens where it gives a little late summer colour in herb gardens and herbaceous borders.